Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about, I thought I was getting jalapeno poppers for this guy. UberEats driver accepts Panda Express order. The customer asks him to make an extra stop. So sometimes you're gonna get that customer that makes extra special requests. Sometimes it's ask for a specific sauce or make sure there are certain utensils. And sometimes you're gonna get that customer that asks you to do extra things on top of the work you're already doing, such as making an extra stop. Most of the times it's for cigarettes or something like that, but I usually don't recommend anybody do that because there are laws against that, especially for tobacco, 1, and 2, Uber isn't really okay with that, and 3, you're risking your account for stuff like that. So with that said, I want to go over everything that is being said in this article, how it actually is for Doordash, UberEats, and Grubhub drivers and their corresponding customers and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. There's an old phrase advising people to simply ask for what they want in order to see if someone is open to providing it. A closed mouth does not get fed. But there's also something to be said for gauging the time and place to make sure this request is appropriate. With the rise of delivery apps and runner-based services, the requests made to delivery drivers grow increasingly out of pocket. And yet those same people who want to make those insane requests don't want to tip their drivers either. Can we just note that too? Most recently, a customer on Uber Eats is alleged to have asked their driver to pick up a little extra something to add to the order in exchange for around $20. Poppers. One of the members of Fortsofficial, a musical group based in Phoenix, Arizona, says the request was added through food delivery app's notes section. And he was being asked to pick up jalapeno poppers from a Mexican restaurant. I'm gonna leave his TikTok as well as his profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject. Yo, but real talk though, I don't even know what poppers are, so I would assume the same thing. Either way, I wouldn't have taken the request because you have to put that stuff through the app, but again, that's a thing.
Okay, so I just got done doing an Uber Eats order and the guy lured me with a Panda Express order. He puts in the notes, please stop by Zorba's for poppers. We'll reimburse you twofold. Should be extra $10 or $15. I thought it was like a Mexican place. I thought I was getting jalapeno poppers for this guy that he forgot to get, okay?
Another thing that I would assume is that they just didn't like the poppers from the particular restaurant he ordered from, so he ordered that. Or he's trying to dodge delivery fees or whatever. Either way, I wouldn't know the first thing about it.
Turns out it was drugs. So I get to the place and it was a sex store. So obviously for a second, I'm not gonna lie, I thought about it just because an extra $20 is nice. He called me immediately and was just like, hey, I'm not seeing these poppers out here. I was like, no, sorry, dude. I can't deliver you drugs on Uber Eats. Sorry. Like, oh yeah, no, I'm so sorry. It was a weird request anyway. God bless. God bless.
Yeah, I would not have even approached that subject. I wouldn't approach that even if it was jalapeno poppers, but especially not drugs. There is already a concern for wrongful deactivations for drug use, and while Uber is making certain moves about that, you don't want to be on the receiving end of that at all. Honestly, I would have been the first person to tell you, no, I cannot do that. In fact, I'll report your ass to Uber support so I don't have that problem again. The video has amassed more than 7,000 views since it was posted on November 16th. Some viewers shared that they were similarly confused by the request to pick up poppers from a business called Zorba's. Now the things you do for content, huh? When you said poppers and Zorba's, I was like, oh, what kind of food they got at the Greek place? One commenter wrote. Jalapeno? Maybe something with a Mediterranean flair? But no. I would assume jalapeno, but something with a Mediterranean flair. Ooh, that would have sounded pretty good, actually. I think I know what I'm doing for dinner tonight. I heard Zorba's and was like, huh, sounds familiar. I was thinking of Zupas, but then I saw your city and I was like, oh no, another commenter wrote, Zorba's. That is too funny. You gotta think that the people who actually knew who Zorba's was actually watching this video. He's like, no, it's not jalapeno poppers. Don't do it. Don't. It's a trap. Others shared that they themselves had asked their delivery drivers if they could grab additional items, although of a different nature. I've asked my driver that was delivering alcohol if they can also grab me some wraps. They did, and we laughed as I handed over the cash and ID, LOL, one commenter wrote. I don't know what wraps are. I'm assuming those are the things that are around cigarettes that you smoke or something like that, but either way, I would not have approached that either. I wouldn't have done that because that's a risk. You don't want to get your account deactivated for the sake of a customer. Although there is also the risk that if you don't fulfill that request, they'll rate you less. But that kind of customer shouldn't be on the platform anyway. That's why you should report those customers. I've had my Uber Eats driver pick me up cigars a few times, another commenter wrote. Again, I don't do that. I've had requests for cigarettes. I don't approach that because you know what's gonna happen is I will run late for whatever reason because the guy at the counter is shooting the shit with somebody else. And there's nothing wrong with that. He's trying to build a relationship, but I gotta go. I don't want to get a contract violation running late because you wanted to get a cigarette or a cigar. Also, there's no guarantee you're actually gonna get a better tip from that. And I don't provide service for free. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. I don't care what the reason is that you thought it would be okay to do this. It's really not. You don't ask somebody to pick drugs up for you. There's a reason why a lot of people refer to Uber Connect as a drug smuggling thing because people look at gig workers as mules for drug deals. Not to mention, you could get deactivated if you're ever caught with that stuff. Not to mention the overall legal ramifications on the subject. And as an overall rule for every gig worker, if it's not available on the app and they didn't order it, don't assume that they want it and don't go out of your way to get it. If they want it, there are avenues that they can take to get it through other parties, but don't let that be you. Because one day you're gonna do that and it's gonna end up worse on your end. So protect you, protect your account, and make sure you set healthy boundaries so you're never gamed by a customer, no matter how simple the request it seems. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.